Hi everybody, this is Christine Bertram and I am coming to you live from the Hive here on a Wednesday morning, the last Wednesday of October. It is the 29th of the wow of the month. That's so crazy to think we've just got 2 days left to go. I see that Debbie Gast is here and Susan Bellamy's here. They have said hi. I know there's a few more people here, but if I don't know you're there, I can't say hi to you. So it's early, you guys, and I haven't had any coffee yet. So I forgot about that. I actually worked on a few things, and Angela's here doing some stamping for her cards, which is awesome. And I have a great class, I think, in store for you. I've read through the instructions probably 4 times just to see. I was wondering what I'm doing in my phone. I'm making it on pager. Okay, I have a beautiful, I think I have a beautiful card here. Like that would be my thought because Connie Moore makes beautiful cards. So that's how I already know it's beautiful. And I know it's a fun fold. So it's going to be over the top. So it's a shutter fold card. And there's lots of pieces of cardstock. Now, I should have taken the time to take a picture of this and share it with you guys. I didn't do that. It's been like a little bit of a hectic like time period, I think, the last couple weeks. Hi, Sherry Johnson. Hi, Hilden L. How's Sherry Martin? So, and there's Nancy Mole. Yay! You've kept missing me. Well, not today. You're here, and it's so crazy. Oh, there's just been a lot going on, especially adding in a Wounded Warrior benefit. And right before that, we were prepping for the Palooza, and just it's always a mile a minute in a good way. So I have lots of pieces, and I think what I'll do is I'll send this. It's kind of hard to read through this top area here because she printed it, somehow she printed this on the computer. So she took my recipe card, which is really important. And let's see if I get that a little bit lighter for you guys like that. And right here it's just a little bit hard because it says one piece at tall is 5 1/4 and 3 1/4. That's what that says right there. And so I might just, usually have a pen there. But I have a purple pen here. So what I'm gonna do is I will move this over here, and that's 3 1/4, and that says 5 1/4. Okay, it must have printed right over the top of that. So just in case it's easier to read. So that's the front. These are all the measurements. This is what we're gonna be working off, and then the great thing is I have some sort of an idea what's going on because there's a diagram here. Now I can't say that I've ever made a card like this, but it was awesome that she put this on here because it tells me the size of the paper, where to do my score lines, and then it has where the cut lines are. So that's perfect. So that will help us. So my plan is I will take a picture of this. There's it. That's good. I'll take a picture of this front and back, and I'll put it into the event. I'll put it into the Facebook event as well, and then I'll send it in the email. So when I say the event, I usually refer to my website. So if you go to today's date, which is October, well, let's try that again. Go to events. October 29th. When you go in here, there's an event called Share, Create, Inspire. And I've got the first link being the YouTube video that you can watch it here. But this is where you can go to click to get the form. If anybody else wants to submit a form, I don't have anything lined up for November. And my deal is if I have one, I'll do it. And if I don't, I'll cancel the class. So we actually canceled class this past September, like last month, because I didn't have any cards. So today is not the 28th. Apparently today's the 29th. So I'll go update that. But there's a spot to go to the video as well. Underneath here in this section is where I'll put the recipe card. And then also if you're in the Facebook group, that's where I'll also put the recipe card. And then I always send a thank you email afterwards. And so I'll have that in the email. So you guys can have it that way. I'll have like a nice picture of it up front and center. Hi, Connie Moore. Hi, Linda Kester. What's shaking bacon? All right. Hi, Patty Baumgartner. There's Deanne and I was watching live. It's sunny and a bit windy here. Yes, you guys, it is definitely sunshiny in here. I don't know if you can tell that things are a little bit brighter. And then if I show you out this way, if I flip it around, you can definitely see that the sun is shining through into the trees here. So that's good. Hello, Kelly Sheridan. Hi, Donna Grushki. Go Blue Jays. Yes. All right. So I don't know what I'm going to make yet. I mean, I know it's a Shutterfold card, but we'll get there. What I wanted to share with you, because I always like to use new product with you if I can. And so I was able to do, as a demonstrator, you can pre-order. So the new online exclusives launch on November 4th, which is next Tuesday. So, yep, morning, you guys. This is what we get in the morning. So we have new online exclusives launching in next Tuesday on the 4th. And as a demonstrator, one of our demonstrator perks is we can order early. So anybody who joins Stampin' Up! Yet now, you could add these pre-order items to your starter kit if you want and take advantage of shopping early before all the rest of anybody who isn't a demonstrator can shop. And so I thought, well, I'm going to go through some of this stuff. They have new stamping cases, and I'm certain that I know other demonstrators have already been showing this off. You guys, I kind of live in the moment when it comes to creating and crafting, and we're using what I'm currently using for classes. I don't generally do reveals or share with you things in advance to entice you because you can't buy it quite yet. But now it's going to happen. So spoiler alert, we're going to go through some things. And I thought from this pile of new stuff, I'd love to create something from here using Connie's recipe. So that's what I'm thinking. So there's a new, and you guys are probably, a lot of you've seen this. I'm going to guess that you've seen, unless I'm the only demonstrator you watch, which I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I'm the only, I don't even watch myself. So I would say I don't, I don't know. So I don't know what other demonstrators are doing. You guys, I kind of like stay in my own lane. So, but they've changed the cases. So they're these plastic thin cases now, and they have, little flippy flap here that I apparently must have wrong there. Yeah. I think it's supposed to go over the top and in. I must have had that wrong. But when you go in the inside here, there are your stamps. What I've been seeing on the leader group for Stampin' Up, there's a leader group. What I understand is somebody showed that what they did is they took and taped this down here, or take this, stamp it, maybe like this, and then you have all the stamps stamped here. And then you can tape this down on this side. And how did they do that? Because now the plastic would be there. Well, because I was thinking that those get taped, but so you want to stamp that first, and then you tape this over the top of it, and then you tape this to the other side. And so when you open this up, I don't know. I guess I haven't quite figured it out. I generally don't like to leave my stuff in the inside like that. Whenever I have dies, I always put stuff on the outside like that. So then, I don't know. I'm not here to solve the world's problems about our stamp cases and how things should go, but I did want to show you new things. So, hi, Mimi Howenstein. We have banner sayings. I hope you're doing okay, Mimi. Lots of prayers coming your way yet. Banner sayings is here, and then that has a matching punch. So I thought, well, maybe, hi everybody, you can see me in the punch. Maybe there's a way we can include these little sentiments and the punch in the card today. So I was hoping to use that. There's a new stamp called Lasting Linen. And again, I've already put it in the back because I want to be able to go like this and pull it out. So I don't know quite how I'm going to do it. And then there's a new set called Valentine Kisses. And it says photopolymer stamp. So we've moved now to all photopolymer. And then the dies look like this. So if anybody is seeing this and they want to put a suggestion into the sandbox or the suggestion box with Stampin' Up, I need to do this as well. I need to tell them I want Valentine Kisses here and here. I don't want to see Stampin' Cut and Emboss in big letters here. I want to be able to see both of these say Valentine Kisses, and then that says dies, and that says photopolymer stamp set. Like, it was really hard when I first got these. I was like, what goes with what? And then it's like, okay, I see it here in super small font. So constructive criticism, if anybody wants to also throw it into the sandbox, just tell them you'd love to see the die have the name of the stamp or the die set instead of Stampin' Cut and Emboss at the top. Like, it just makes sense. So you can see here, this is Words of Beauty, and it would be great to see Words of Beauty right there instead of really small right there. So this one's a great one with words, and then it has some new label dies there for us. I always love label dies. And then there's pop-up petals. Flower. Those look cute. And then you can like layer them. Stamp that, stamp your inside. So, and then there's some dies that go with that one. And then here's Petals of Beauty. You know I'm going to love this one. I love dies like that. They're really easy to add into cards. You guys, I gotta drink the water. So I'm trying. I haven't had coffee and I haven't drinking enough water. You're almost the only one I watch. You're the best. Aw, thanks, Mimi. Hello, Feline Mays. So now it's good then. You guys are seeing some good stuff here. Currently on the treadmill. Go, girl. Get her done. I got to start doing that too. I actually started working in the basement and we found the treadmill. So we're going to try to, get it activated again. I don't know. We got to do the waxy wax thing underneath the belt and get it working again. So wait, petals. So you guys, I will get 2 sets of dies because of all the die cutting we do. My die cutters love me more when I have 2 sets of dies. So I will get 2 sets of dies on stuff that I know that we're going to be featuring for a sweet class. So this one is Outdoor Adventure. This one's called On Display. So it kind of reminds me of the Fisher set where it had a tackle box like that. This is to make it look like shelves. And so you can have a cat in there. You could have all the stuff that you'd put in your bookcase in there. And then there's one called Friendly Foliage. Hello, handsome kitten. What are you doing, buddy? Mom, I want to say hi to everybody. Okay. Well, I know you're really just looking for squirrels and you just said that. So Friendly Foliage is another one. And then there's Delicate Framing. No, I did not buy everything, but I did buy almost everything. So we try to, in the course of everything that I do, we like to at least use, well, if I don't really, truly, genuinely like something, I don't buy it, you guys. I promise I don't buy everything. But of the things that are generally things that I like or am good with, which is almost everything, I want to show everything off over the course of the whole cycle of the catalog. So one will be in a sweet class, one will be in a monthly class, one will get used in a Let's Just Stamp. So I generally, it's amazing how before I was ever teaching classes, I would buy, and look at. And as soon as I started teaching classes is when I actually started using all my products. So that's pretty cool. This one's called Swirl Designs. This last one was called Creative Haven. Okay, so these are just new bundles and new stamps. Hello, Patty Baumgartner. I inspire you so much with the classes. Good, and helps me create using your stash. Wonderful, good. That is great to hear. All right, I love inspiring. So I'm not sure what we're going to use out of there. I did pull out some words though, and there are a couple new gem sets. This one I've been showing off because we're actually using it in the Memories and More class. And here are some pretty ones these are called Pearls of Beauty. This one's called Earthy Matte Dots. There are some new doilies, right? Like for lovey-dovey Valentine's Day, there's hearts in them, and there's red, and there's pinkish white. There's a new embossing folder that looks like this. All right, let's see if I can get that a little bit, maybe, so you can see the decoration in it. It's pretty cool. We already used this on one of the Stamp-A-Stat cards or somewhere along the way. All set? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thanks for coming over. Okay. Then I also have, there's new ribbon. That is called Garden Green White Ribbon, and it's a chevron pattern. So that's new. And then my favorite thing is Designer Series paper. Hello, Kari Dyer. And this one I love, absolutely love. I am a flower person. You know, you don't think you'll ever hear me complaining about all the flowers that Stampin' Up! Has. And I know that they have a lot. And sometimes people get sick of the flowers, but you'll never hear me saying, oh man, they have too many flowers, because I absolutely love flowers. So this is a really pretty pattern paper. Yeah. Okay, so really cool. So that matches this, it matches this. It's really pretty. This one is called Brushed with Beauty. Okay. And then there's the pinky, and then that is, I like that. I like it's like little pop blossoms. Here's a greenish one with the Mossy Meadow. But look, what I love about this is the front and the back go together. So when you make a card that uses designer paper where you like the front and the back, that's super cool. So there's your, I don't know what are those called, pussy willows maybe? And then that's the coral side. It's very artistic-y, like, looks like you're taking caulk or whatever, like a mixed media type thing, and you put ink in it, and then you smear it all around, and then you get like, I don't know, that look. I'm not an artist, you guys. I promise. I don't know all the lingo, and I'm not a professional artist. But that reminds me of like taking and smearing stuff around. Okay, and then that side is really pretty, and that would match this other green side too here. And then there's this one, which has some flower patterns that you could just cut these and put them on your card. So there's that pretty paper. And Deanne said her order should be delivered today, and it has lots of goodies, and you can't wait to play. Yay! All right, so I think I'm going to use this pack. And I do want to show you, though, about 3 years ago, they went away with vellum. They took away, they did, and I still continue to use it to this day. They are new 12 by 12 vellum, and I let Kelly borrow my pack because she needed it for the advent calendar. But they have new 12 by 12 vellum, and then this is called Whispers of Texture 12 by 12. And hang on. I don't want to cough in your ear, you guys. All right, so then this has texture, and you can add color to it, and there's different patterns. There's one with lines. It's like really small corrugated lines, and then this one is more of a linen look to it, and it's really hard to see it on the camera, but it's there. So you get 6 sheets. And then there's one more pack here. Oh, here's the vellum. So the vellum is vellum. It's great. I love vellum. Vellum always is a great addition to cards. I'm trying to see how many sheets. There's 12 sheets. There you go. Perfect. And then, yes, you guys, I buy at the maximum I can. So like 3 of each one if you buy the suite. Because then it gets me that I can start working on my DSP samplers. I can start working on planning product shares. All the good things. So let's just open this one. I don't know if I've opened one yet or not, but it's all good. Hello, Joy Moody. Oh, you're leaving for a scrapbooking retreat tomorrow and plan to make this card while there. Perfect. Okay, well, we'll get started momentarily. We're almost done looking at the last pack here. So this one's called Hobby Haven. So, as what it says, it's hobbies. So this is a reading hobby. So it's all full of books and lights and good stuff. The back side looks like that. You get 2 sheets of that one. This one, Pastime Hobbies, is, well, relaxing, maybe, or a spa day. I see towels, I see eye masks, I see combs and brushes and lotions and essential oily type things. So maybe relaxing is your hobby. That's what I would gather. And then you've got that on the back. This one is cooking. So you've got all your bakeware things. Oh, it's even got a little espresso machine there. That's kind of neat. Little cupcakes and salt and pepper and eggs in a blender. And then on the back side, you've got greenie. Now, this hobby is plant gardening, maybe? They've got chairs sitting here with plants next to them. So it's like a whole scene right here that you could put right onto the front of a card. And the back looks like that. This one is sewing. I guess there's ironing, there's irons, there's sewing machines and scissors and yarn, all that stuff. And then here's blue background. And then this is one of those packs that has the laser cut die cuts. So you've got 2 sheets of those and they match. And you got like an easel board, another espresso machine, sewing machine, a tag. Yep, all the good stuff. So I am going to be challenged with this one. So we're going to put this one away for right now, but I just wanted to show it. It'll definitely have its time and place, but not today. Today, the spotlight goes to this pack of paper because I love it so much. So let's move you over here, and we're going to pick, and I don't know what stamps we'll do with this yet. I guess I'll wait to figure out the stamps. My trick is always, let's get the DSP, let's find the cardstock, and then we'll start assembling the card, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do for stamps and all of that stuff. I guess that's my thought. So thank you to Connie Moore for helping us out with this one. She sent this to me last week, and I'm so excited. And she even said, send me more if you want more. So we'll have to see how we get through this one, Connie. I feel like you gave me a intensive card here. So we have our designer series paper, but we don't know what sheets we're going to pick. What paper is that? Oh, this one is called Brushed with Beauty. So she's got 2 DSPs, 1 and 2. So I'm going to look through here and find 2 of them that I absolutely love that go nicely together. Well, I absolutely love that one. And it could go with this coral right here, right? These two go together very nicely. The other option is that, but it's kind of blah, right? I think coral will pop. The other thing is there was a mossy meadow right here. Oh, this one's so pretty too. Oh, yes. Oh my. Okay, I love that pattern a lot. And then the back is green. And we could also use green over here if we're feeling more of the green. But I feel like this is going to be a fancy pants card. And we could make it into maybe a wedding card and use this. So I think, let me just check to make sure I have coral down here because I didn't check my stockpile. Oh, I have coral, so that's good. All right, so I do have coral. Oh, hello, hunky noodle boy. I think we'll save that for another day and time, and we will work with these two sheets here. And let me just see again really quick. We are going into fall. Oh, we'll leave this out just in case. JIC, just in case. So, new designer series paper. Hi, Julie Bierschbach. Okay. So, hi, kitten. So, what I'm thinking here is we need to figure out what is going to be our top piece. Okay. I was trying to work ahead by looking at our measurements to see what gets matted and what doesn't get matted. So there's this whole card base, and the card base is going to look like that. And how I read this is it's going to fold like a fun fold, and one side's going to go in and one side's going to go this way, and then eventually it'll still be an A2 size card. Hello, handsome kitten. So this top part here talks about how to cut this, and it was awesome, Connie. Thank you so much for putting the diagram in here. I really appreciate it. And so this is going to show us how to, and I was trying to figure out measurements so that when I was looking at this side, we have like a 5 1/4, 3 1/4, an inside mat, and then 2 pieces for outside mats. And then we have a mat for stamping on the front of the card, a mat for the back, and that is all cardstock. And then we have another section here, which is cardstock in white or vanilla. And there's for stamping on the front of your card and then your inside. So we'll probably end up going, ooh, wow, let's look at this. Is that vanilla or is that white? That is the question that inquiring minds want to know. Wow, we're going to go with vanilla. Okay, so white's okay, but I'll show you. Let me show you. Comes here. So that's the white, right? It would work, but that just complements it really nice. It kind of flows better. So let's put the white back away. All right, and then we've got our first DSP that is, it says 8 pieces that are 5/8 by 1 5/8. So I'm like, well, where do those pieces go? So what I'm estimating is that because this is a score line, score line, score line, score line, there's a chunk here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So that's telling me that those 8 pieces are a DSP that might be better off being like a background subtle designer paper. So I'm thinking this one's going to be my first DSP. And then she's got on the back of the card that there's also a piece of designer paper, which matches this, but I wouldn't see why we couldn't put this one on the back too. And then there's a second piece. It's a 3 1/2 by 3 on the left side of the shutter. So what's happening is you've got your card base. You're going to glue stuff onto it. You're going to have a shutter on the front and a shutter on the back. That'll make sense to you, I think, because I did do a Google search on a shutterfold card. So I kind of like cheated a little bit by looking up a shutterfold card. So we're going to, so if these are going to be our little 8 pieces, and then we have a piece on the front, like I think that this will become our focal front piece. These are going to be our side action pieces. Would we rather have Mossy Meadow? And then we would have to go with a Mossy Meadow base, which will make the card darker, but it is fall here. And so would this potentially work better now? Let me just see here. What? So we either go with like something like that, and then that would mat on that. It is pretty. Or the other option I would go with is Calypso Coral, and that would mat on there all right. And then we'd have Calypso Coral here. I almost am thinking I like the green better behind here. The green really pops. I don't think we're gonna use both cardstocks. I feel like we only have, well, we do, okay, here's the thing. We do have 2 cardstocks. I'm wondering, this one looks the best behind here. And then we're going to cardstock 2 for matting. White vanilla is there. I'm wondering if I want 2 mats, because I want it to be like that. That would be really pretty, but I don't think that we need that much. So going with coral. Okay, so Joy says coral. All right. I'll wait and see if anybody else says coral, because if that's the case, what I think we're going to do is we're going to cut our base. I think that that will be really pretty using these pieces. We can make it work. And here's the great thing about this, everybody. It's a card. Naughty Nancy says it's only paper. They make more of it every single day. And if we get it and we're not happy with it or we don't like it, we can always make another one once we know what it looks like and go from there, right? So our whoa, I just threw that up at myself. Our measurement for this base is, oh, here we go, because there are 2. I see what's happening. Cardstock base is 1 piece, and then we have cardstock 2 for matting. I didn't even see that up there. I did, but I didn't, okay? I get it. So we are gonna go with coral, and we might accent with green. There we go. I think we got it. So 5.5 by 10.5. Okay, so let's start there. I think we're gonna do, let me look this one more time. So we got that, and then these little guys will go on the coral, and then we'll accent with the green cardstock, because I think we'll need a green cardstock here. Like, you want some water, buddy? There you go. All right, so, because the other option would be to do green here with green back here. Hi, Patty Wright. You like the coral better too. Okay, we're gonna go with the coral. We're just gonna play with this and see what happens. We're gonna make the card and we're gonna be happy with it. What is the saying? You're gonna like it, and if not, you don't complain. Something like that, right? So we have 10.5 by 5.5. All right, so anybody doing this at home, you're gonna cut 5.5. So take your regular cardstock and you're gonna cut it at 5.5, because that's the height of the card. And then you need 10.5. Hi, Deb Norman. You need 10.5 right here. Okay, so that's not so bad. That is the size that we need for our card base, right? It's gonna be that first one right here, card base, 5.5 by 10.5. Let's flip it over and follow Connie's instructions on what to do with this base. So we have cardstock 1 card base with the 10.5-inch side at the top. The 10.5 is at the top. Score lightly at 1 3/4 and 3.5. Score at 1 3/4. So we're gonna go right to 1 3/4 and score lightly. It's new DSP, Deb. It's part of the new online exclusives that are launching next week. It's called Brushed with something. I can't remember. Everybody's been asking. Brushed with Beauty. Okay, somebody else. Now somebody else help me remember that. Brushed with Beauty. So scoring lightly at 1 3/4 and 3.5. Now I scored so lightly that you can't see that. So we'll try a little bit more. Okay, and then 3.5. So let's go over here to 3.5. Yeah, there's a new suite out with that paper, and it's just gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. So I got a light score line, like super light that you can hardly even see it. All right. It says rotate the cardstock 180 degrees and repeat scoring lightly at 1 3/4 and 3.5. So rotating it 180 degrees like that. Okay. And we're going to do 1 3/4 like that, scoring, not cutting. Very light. And then 3.5. Right there. Okay, so far so good, right? And you can see that we're right, because if you look at her diagram down here, she's got the score lines in orange that are dotted. It says with the 5.5 side at the top, line up at the 4 3/4 mark and cut between the two score lines at the top and the bottom. So if we hold it like this, and it says with the 5 1/2 inch side up, with line it up at 4 3/4. So we're gonna go to 4 3/4, right there. And it says mark and then cut between the two score lines at the top and the bottom. So the two score lines at the top, at the bottom. So there's a cut mark right here, and then there'll be something down here eventually, but right now we're gonna cut here. So it says cut between the two score lines at the top and the bottom. So we're not cutting between these two, we're just cutting here, and then we're cutting between here. So 4 3/4, and I own that's, it's so nice to have the diagram because I know that we need to cut between these two score lines and these two score lines, okay? So I might get my head in here because I can't see. So one moment, please. I scored them so lightly that I can't see them. So it's at basically 1 3/4. And then it's down to this other mark is, oh man, it's at the 3 1/2. So it's between the 1 3/4 and the 3 1/2. So that's where this side measurement is good. So you go 1 3/4 to 3 1/2. Okay, and then what we can do is pick this up, and we're gonna go down here to this line right here, 7 inches and 8 3/4. And so we're gonna go, I moved. Oh, I did. Hang on. So it was 7 inches down here to 8 3/4. Okay, all good? So all we're doing is cutting between the two score lines. Then mark, okay, now rotate 180 degrees and line up at the 4 3/4 mark again and do the same thing basically. Hi, Yvonne. Good to see you. Welcome to the team, Yvonne. Yay! One of our newest bees. So we have 4 3/4 here, and we're gonna cut between these two again. So it was between the 7 and the 8 3/4. We're gonna go here, down to the 8 3/4. And then this one was 1 3/4 and 3 1/2. So we're gonna go to 1 3/4 to 3 1/2. Okay, I believe that is what we need to do here. So let's just look now what the next thing says. It says with the 10 1/2 inch side at the top, line up at the 3 1/2 mark and cut between the two cuts. Okay, so now we have the blue line here. We're doing this cut and that cut. So with the 10 1/2 at the top, which we are, line up at 3 1/2. So we're gonna go to 3 1/2 right here. It says cut between the two cuts, okay? So that is at, I believe, 1 inch. Maybe it's up here. Guys, sorry, the head's in here again. So we're gonna cut between our cut lines. So here, down to, see now I can see that through, so I don't even need to look at the measurements, okay? And then it says rotate 180 degrees, and let's do it again. So 3 1/2 here, and come up to your score line and go down to there. All right, so you're happy, yay! Yeah, yes you are. Okay, so now if you didn't catch, like here I didn't catch it all the way, that's okay. All you have to do is just grab your scissors and just give it that last little nip, right? And then here too, we're just gonna check. Okay, if you cut just a hair too far, it's not the end of the world. Life will go on, obla-dee, obla-da. So you've got, that's what we're doing, all right? So that's the whole top chunk here. And now I think we're done with cutting for the moment in time right now for this. We've got fold on the score lines. The right side of the card will slide under the left side. So fold on the score lines. So we're gonna fold here. We're gonna fold this back, all right? So I know I did that kind of magically. That was really fast. So this is a valley, that's the mountain. So this goes in and that goes on top, right? And then on this side, we're gonna do the same thing. That one goes in, and then this one goes out. So this will go like that, and then that rests over the top. Oh, it's actually smaller than an A2 size card. Okay, that makes sense. So it's actually a little bit skinnier, right? The height is the same, but skinnier. So now we kind of can get a visual of how this card's gonna work, right? Like that, super cool. So I think when I was saying about a shutter, this is your first shutter and that's your second shutter. And what it says here, glue the DSPs to your mats and glue to the card base, stamp and embellish, right? All right, so now we're gonna flip it back over and now we're gonna work on our paper. So we do need 8 pieces that are 5/8 by 1 5/8. And I was saying that's why I thought that this is for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna have some paper going across the top. I feel like that should be the Coral Designer Series paper. So I think I'm gonna, because that will go nicely against that. So we need 5/8 by 1 5/8, and we need 8 of them. So I think what I'll do is first cut, well, I'm gonna cut 5/8 and cut a strip. I could cut 1 5/8 and then do 5/8, 5/8, 5, but then I'll have a whole section here. So I'll cut my 5/8 first and see how many I can get out of that. So that's 1 inch. So we're gonna go to 5/8. And so what I do when I'm cutting really tall paper like this, I get my first line marked up and I'll come down here and make sure that I mark down here as well, because you could have the paper in here crooked and then that doesn't do you any good, having it crooked. So we're gonna come down here to the 5/8 mark like that. Make sure we're still at 5/8 up there. And that will help us to make sure we cut this straight. Okay, so that's 5/8. And then we need by 1 5/8. Right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll get 7. So I don't think that so if you want to keep your things in order, that might not be the worst idea, because this one went over here, I think. If you want to keep a continuous pattern, so it was these 2 and then these 2, but I don't have quite enough to get all 8 of them. So there's the 7th one, and then my 8th one, all I'm going to do is go to 5 1/8, or 5/8 inch here, making sure I'm lined up to cut it straight. I'm only going to go down a little bit, and then come over to 1 5/8 over here, right? So then I'm not cutting a whole strip off. I'm leaving the paper kind of intact. So I've got one little lonely guy here, but he'll find his friends like that, so that's good. I don't know if we're going to use that anymore. So we might come back to that. So we might just start gluing this stuff bit by bit, because it says on the end here, just glue all the DSPs and glue stuff together. So I kind of guess that that's where that goes, and it doesn't mat on anything because there's no other one that says 8 pieces. So what I'm going to do is grab these guys, and we're going to glue them on right away. We'll know if we regret it later. But so, and I'm like the type that I will put glue on all the pieces right off the bat, so that I don't have to sit there and open my glue bottle 8 times. I'm going for it. Okay, so then this will go here. I'll put this one right there. That one can go here. Has anybody made a shutter fold card like this? I can't say that I ever have. I know we haven't done it for fun folds, because generally for fun fold cards, I go for ones where you guys can easily reproduce them without creating a lot of extra, like cutting and scoring for you, which is extra work. And I know it can be stressful if you don't cut everything properly. So, all right. So we're going with the coral there, right? Okay, so far so good. Let's look at some other things. So I know we need like this inside middle piece. And we need, so now that you can see stuff, you can kind of guess where some of these measurements go. So she's got, and she has on here really great for right side of the shutter, right? So this is the right side of the shutter. And then like there's a DSP here, 1 3.5 by 3 for the left side of the shutter. And then that has a mat that goes with it as well. So I'm trying to figure out which one it is. There's a 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, right? That goes on the inside for a mat. So that's our cardstock 2. I think what we're gonna do is go for the green, right? We're gonna bring in our green and we're gonna cut it. So I'm gonna mishmash all around here because I'm piecemealing it together myself. So we're gonna do 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. And this is for an inside mat, so 3 1/4. And we can always recut paper if we need to. So this is 5 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the inside mat here. And then there's for an inside of the card, it says 5 by 3, right? So I'm trying to figure out things as we go. So we need a 5 by 3 for the inside of the card. So we're just gonna do that by 3. Okay. And then that goes on the inside here, right? Okay. Then, so I want to put check marks on here, but there's that one's done, that one's done. Now it says 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 3 1/4 for outside mats. So let's figure that out. Those will be our mossy meadow. We're gonna do 3 3/4 by 3 1/4, and we need 2 of those. So 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And so these are for our outside mats. So I'm estimating that those will fit right in there. Okay, good. And then 3 1/4, 3 3/4, got it, by 3 1/4. And then that would go on this side. So that's that one. And then we need 1 piece that is 1 5/8 by 3 for stamping the front of the card. Okay, 1 5/8 by 3. Okay, so there's a 1 5/8 by 3 inches wide. Might be like it's for stamping on the front of the card. Okay, so that would be white vanilla though. And then, okay, so let's get that. So let's see if I have any scraps though. Hang on, I like to use up scraps if I can. Yep, here's one. So we need a 1 3/8 by 3 for stamping the front of the card. So we're just gonna cut that guy. We'll figure out if we need to change anything, I think, later. So we have a piece for the front of the card. I want to get this piece right here. It says we need a second piece of designer series paper. The left side of the shutter is 3 1/2 by 3. I've been waiting to cut this paper. I want this one to bring it all home. So it's 3 1/2 tall by 3 wide. So I'm gonna go 3 wide, and I'm gonna go 3 1/2 tall, right about here. So that, and then I like to bring it like this. 3 by 3 1/2. So let's, I like to just notch that out. Ooh, there it is. Okay, so that's the piece that goes there. Like it, I love it. There's also, I got a pencil right here. And there's probably no lead in it. That's probably the case. Okay, so that DSP is done, but now it's saying that we want a second piece of designer paper for the back of the card. And it's 5 by 3. And there's probably a mat for the back of the card too that we need to cut. And that would be, oh yeah, because it says 2 pieces. 3 3/4, we got those. 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. Oh yeah, 5 1/4 by 3 1/4 for the back of the mat. So we got here 5 1/4, we'll do 3 1/4. Now, I might deviate because I feel like I love that paper so much that I'd rather see that on the back of the card versus this corally piece. So that piece of designer paper was, needs to be here a 5 by 3. So I had 3 inches here. I might just cut that strip off and call it good. Oh no, I can just do down 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go down to here. And then we're gonna do 5 inches. How are we gonna do this? Okay, we're gonna go like this. Can't see 5 inches down there. Hang on, I can do this. How do I wanna do this? Well, I'm just gonna flip it over. I don't always like to flip over, but we're gonna flip over. I can't read the 5 inches on the bottom there. So we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna cut that little guy out of there. That's all I wanted. So if you don't necessarily, I do that kind of cutting because I want to maybe have the opportunity to have a piece here, right? That goes the long way that way. So that's why I do that kind of cutting. So this one's going to be on our back. Okay, so it's going to be on the opposite side over here. Right, so I'll just flip that up and put that there. Now, there's something that needs to go here. And it says that it is 3.5 by 3 for the right side of the shutter. So let's cut that, a 3.5 by 3. So let's go 3 this way by 3.5. That's what goes right there. Okay, you handle it. You need a green mat under that white piece. Yep, I'm getting there. There's one more piece left. I'm still making heads and tails of all my, because I went in a mishmash of an order here. And there's, what Connie's talking about is there's one piece left that's 1 5/8 by 3 that goes underneath here. And so I was gonna grab this scrap right here, and it's 3 by 1 5/8. Okay. Like that. So this is the piece that Connie's talking about that goes underneath here. And I think that that might be my last piece that I need. We've got the base. We've got the inside mat. We have 2 outside mats of Mossy Meadow. We've now just cut that little guy. We need a back mat. Got it. And then our vanilla. We have 1 3/8 by 3, 3.5 by 3, and a 5 by 3. We have the 8 pieces of coral DSP at the top. We have 1 piece for the back of the card, which I opted for the florally pattern. And then we need a second piece of DSP right over here. And then ribbons, stamps, embellishments, and Stella. So I think we've got everything. Hi, Wendy Tick. How are you? Long time no see. There's Judy Sharp. Yay. Okay, so I think that that is looking pretty to me. I don't mind that at all. I don't think we need to change anything. I do see we need to do some stamping, and we got to figure some things out now. So this paper must go with something. And let me just think here. So you guys, I have the pre-order. If you go to my website and you go to the resources section, after my announcements, right? So I've got a bunch of announcements. I'll start deleting stuff off of here in a little bit. And then under resources, I have here online exclusives launching in November. And when you click on that, yay, here's all the product that you can see that is coming out November 4th. And what happens here, oh man, it's that set. Yes, I love it. Petals of Beauty and Words of Beauty are what go in this, what we call a super suite. And these gems, oh my goodness. Okay, so the gems are right here. Oh yes, they're gonna match perfectly. Okay, that's what's so great about the coordination. Stampin' Up! They put everything together so they make it super easy for you to make pretty things. I don't have, so there's the garden green ribbon's not gonna go, but I knew I had some linen thread down here. I have a little baby bow that was made extra, so I might use some linen thread on my card. And then there's an embossing folder in this suite as well. And it's the pretty one over here, right? I don't think we need to use it, but that's part of this suite, right? So again, people who get their starter kit can add this to it if you want to join Stampin' Up! Or the Bees. And if you're a demonstrator right now, you can order this. So the 2 sets that go with this one are the brushed, it's the one I went Goo Goo Gaga over here. Not that one, this one. Petals of Beauty goes with it. And also the words. Choose your words. Okay, those 2. That's what goes with this set. And we also have this new pretty lasting linen. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if we can incorporate this. So I have the banner thing. We could potentially use that as well. So this inside's going to be easy because it's just going to have a sentiment and some flowers, right? Flower. And this one is going to be probably decorated with whatever we want to put on it. And then we need a sentiment. Oh, so I don't need the banner thingy over there. So is there anything in here that's going to work for words? Okay, so I think you're amazing. Let's see if that is a good size. So this guy right here is a sentiment strip. And it says, I think you're amazing. Now you might think that that might be too small for this, but what I could do is stamp that in the middle and then put flowers around it. Flower, right? The other thing that's cool is this one has dies. So if you wanted to, it says just, I'm not going to do this because I don't think I'm going to go grab the die cutting machine, but I had an idea that I could just share. So, struggle busting it here with this stuff. So there was the word just here. You could always die cut just and put the just on there. And then the because doesn't very much fit, but there's a because here. And you could put you because you've been on my mind. And then you could have the die cut just a little bit higher. So you could incorporate, if you have this, you could use that. I think I'll skip it. And I need to grab some Mossy Meadow ink. And that's right here. Grab a block or two, and I can't throw these away if I need them. They always got filed into the garbage. So, all right. Let's just put, you've been on my mind. Oh, we were going to do this as a wedding card. Oh, man. Okay. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Okay. I just had a new thought. Switching gears. I just thought of the stamp set. Lifetime of Love. And it says, congratulations on your wedding day. Wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. Sorry, stamps. You might not get used right now. I'll put you away, and we're going to do this. Because we talked about this being a really pretty wedding card. So, trust the process. This is a great way to bring in old and new to make cards. So we've got Mossy Meadow. I don't know why I say it like that, but I do. Karen Woods, hello to you. Okay, we're good there? All right, so let's just see. We used this last week, Friday, on the Blackberry Beauty card. Oh, it's so crooked. Okay. Oh, and it was rolling downhill. Okay, so let's bring it uphill just a hair. Oh, like that much. Oh. Okay, so red rubber do stamp really nice, but that's why we like photopolymer. Okay, see? That's good. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay. This one is going to go here. And wishing you. Let's see if that stamps straight enough. Okay. Good. Good. Very good. What else is on here? Oh, there's forever and always. So we could take advantage of that. What other words are in here? I guess I should have given you guys another look-see. You're a great friend. It's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Lovely. Nope, not good. Okay. And then I think what we're going to do is use the forever and always. I feel like this is a Tim McGraw song or something like that. And Faith Hill here. We're making a Faith Hill and Tim McGraw card here. All right. And there, oh, that's Shania Twain. And there ain't no way. Right? Shania, you hear that at the weddings. Okay. So, forever and always. Amen. Then, we need flowers and we need leaves. So, we're not going to use these. I'm going to struggle bust these stamps, I think. All right, let's go to these guys. Oh, we wanted to bring in the linen thread too, or this guy. So what I was thinking on this, having it as a little bit of a backed, soft, subtle round. A soft, subtle background. So I just want to see what this is going to look like. All right, I'm not conditioning the stamp, you guys. I'm going for it. If it doesn't stamp, then we'll figure it out. So we're going to inky dinky do that. I'm curious how it stamps, so we're just going to practice here. All right, we'll see you later, Red Rover. Red Rover, let's send Nancy right over for a nap. Okay, then I'm curious, second strength, if we do that one more time, if it'll be really soft. It'll be soft and subtle. The suite has an embossing folder that is called Beautiful Pattern. It sure does. It's very pretty. So we're gonna stamp this off. So first off, just kind of go over this, get a little of the ink off, just a little, I'm hardly pressing, and then go grab this one. We're gonna put that now over the top of this and try again. Oh, did I say it wrong? Lasting Linen is a background stamp, and that's what I want to use on this. Beautiful pattern is, so what Julie's saying is the beautiful pattern. So if I said something wrong, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you guys. The beautiful pattern is this embossing folder. I'm not using it. I don't want to pull out the die cutting machine, but I wanted to use this guy right here, Hi Holly, as a subtle background behind those words. Okay, and it's got texture going on, so you can see a little bit more over here, a little lighter, but that's not how we're gonna leave it. I promise we're not gonna leave it like that. I just wanted to see what it looked like. All right, so there's that guy. All right, we got a hot crafter math going on here. I wanna stamp flowers now. So I'm gonna put flowers around that, and I'm gonna flower here, and then we're gonna add some linen thread. So colors of flowers, what do we have here? That goes with that one. And that goes with that one, and then we've got leaves. Okay. Oh my goodness. If anybody comes up with an idea of how they're gonna store these stamps, please share it with me. I would absolutely love to know. So we're gonna do some coral flowers, and this is two-step stamping, it looks like. So we have got the flower like that, and it helps to put these on your block the same way, so that like that goes like that. Okay, and then this will go like this. So that when we're holding the block, these kind of go on top of each other, right? So we'll have those staged and ready to go. And then the same thing happens with this flower and this flower. And we'll do that on here. So what you could do is, there's a Humpty Hump right there, and there's the Humpty Hump right there. So we're going to put these on the block kind of this way so that we kind of remember that. And then those go together. And then we also need this leaf right here. Oh, it's a thick leaf. And there's foliage here. Let's go get blocks for them. And they don't really do the two-stepping, so we're just going to put them over here. And then there's this big daddy leaf over here yet. Okay, well, let's see what we do with you. I'm not certain. But we're gonna do coral ink first. So when you do the solid one, it needs to be lighter. And when you do the detail, it needs to be fur strength. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put some flowers around here. And I already flipped these upside down. Nope, I did it right. That goes like that. Okay. Did you guys ever get your finger in the ink? Oh, I just did. All right, so we're gonna put a flower there. We're gonna put a flower maybe over here. Put a flower. We got little flowers we need to bring in too. So we'll just go like this. And maybe we'll do the little guy here. So the detail. Right there. Okay. Then we need the more solid one. So with this one, you have to remember to stamp off and put that right over the top. Oh, well, that's not very dark. Okay, but let's see what's here. This one can go right there. And that one went here. And then the little guy. Just don't ever forget to stamp off. Some of these might need conditioning too. It's very possible they'll stamp better if you condition. Okay, right, so we need to get some greenery there yet. I think I'm gonna leave that like that, but we'll put a little guy in the front here, the bottom corner. So that was first strength. second strength. Okay, so we've got a lot of coral done, but we need to bring in the mossy meadow and get some leaves on here. The only thing is that these leaves are just like, okay, big, like way too big to like sneak in. So what are we going to do? For a Klondike bar. Are there more leaves anywhere that we could use? Let me look, see, here's no, okay. Oh, there's those. That's kind of not the same leaf. Hi, Marilyn Durbin. Another demonstrator inked up all the stamps while on the acrylic sheet and stamped on the thick and then adhered to inside. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's see here. Nothing there. All right, I gotta find some leaves. Like this thing is fine. Let's just see what it looks like. Okay, we'll use that here. I can handle that here. Okay, we'll put that right like that. And we're gonna put this one coming out over here. I can handle that. Okay, I'm good with that. There's also this middle thing, which is too big for that. But what you could do for the middle here of your flower, you could grab like the crumb cake marker and kind of color that in just a little bit, right? Because flowers need to have the middles of their, like they need their middles called out. Okay, I'm all right with that. That looks very kind of nice. All right. Oh, let's see that. I don't know if that's going to work on this side so well, but we'll try it. Okay. So, all right. I don't want that guy, right? But I want the other. So how do we do that? You mask. So grab that piece of scrap paper, cover up where you don't want the leaf, right? Oh man. So we're gonna, okay. Let me just, I gotta show you how I would really do this. Like there's a little thing that wouldn't have looked hot. So let's just do this. Let's do it properly. So you need to grab the tape and mask off what you don't want. So I wanted just over, let's look at this. I don't want this leaf over here. So we're going to take, and sometimes you have to manipulate this so that it covers up exactly what you want and nothing else. All right, so I'm masking off. And now when I ink up, I'm only gonna have green there. Then you have to remember to take the tape off. And we're gonna stamp that like that. Okay, that's good. There's one little spot that I could have not had tape, but that's okay. It's all good. You have to be very careful with this because there's ink all over it and you don't want to get that all over everything. So I just throw that away right away. I mean, sometimes you can reuse them. Totally get that. Now, what do we got going on over here? Okay. He will fit. Let's see if we can fit you. Right like that. Okay, I can handle that. Now, it's not connected as much as I'd like to see it connected. So if that happens, that's where these markers come in handy. So you could take your marker, right, and draw it so that it connects it, right? Because if you're picky like me, you want it to be connected. Okay, so there, that's good. Let's see what we got over here. This one, I could see just like that. Okay, good. So we're gonna do this, and okay, all right, we're managing. Let's see over here. Ooh, that one will go right here. Okay, and now do we do anything up there? You're probably thinking to yourself, well, there's not a lot of space, but you want something. So how do you do it? Well, let's figure out what one would look good there. I think that will actually look really good. Well, we don't have to do any extra craziness. We're just gonna go like that. Oh, yes, okay. Perfect, I can handle that. Oh man, all right. Then on the front here, do we put anything on this one? Like I could see potentially having a flower the little flower could maybe go right there. Okay, yep. We're gonna open this one up, see what we got here. Put that right there. And then, so the second strength is not really doing much. It really, I'm just gonna go full strength and see what happens. Okay, and then we want a little greenery on here. Go like that, maybe. Maybe we'll go like, want it like that, but I don't want that one again. So let's clean you up. We're gonna do it proper. Thanks, Holly. Oh, they made me work for them. It definitely made me work. So I want those two, but not the guy on the side here. So we're going to go like this again. Get you covered up. Take the paper, don't forget to take that off. And then we're gonna do like that. Okay, let's see about one more. Maybe up here, like maybe on the middle. That little Humpty Humps at the top. So make sure you get your blocks lined up. I'll leave it second or full strength and see what happens. Like that. It's a little darker. So if you can see the difference between those, when you stamp the second strength, it's really light in the back, and these are a little darker. It's okay. I can handle it. Let's see what we've got. A little leaf. Oh, yes. Okay, you're going to go right here. Okay. Maybe we'll put one more. Let's see how that could work. Oh, we'll put it like this. All right. We be done stamping. Let's put this stuff away so I don't wreck anything. And I'm wondering if I should put the coral or some sort of inner thing right in the middle. I didn't mind the crumb cake little dot. It kind of brings it all together, but it's not like my favorite thing. So I wonder, and to do yellow probably wouldn't have been exciting because there's no, oh, there is yellow going on. Let's just see. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's all right. We'll just do a little yellow in the middle. They call me Mellow Yellow. Okay. All right. Okay, so that was a hot, not a hot, aftermath of stamping going on. All right, we get to glue now. So glue, glue and glue. We'll glue these two together, and we'll glue these two together. Okay. Looks like I need to order this suite. I know, it's so pretty. I'm not going to tell you no, Connie. That is definitely, yup, you want the suite. And you can order it right now because you just joined the team. Yay! Okay, so let's just do this onto here. I was so worried that those leaves would not look good, but they actually look very nice. I thought that they would be too scraggly looking, but, and then I thought that, I thought the other one would be too big, and the other ones would have been way too big. This is more dainty. So this gets glued there. This one gets glued. Oh, good, Wendy. I'm so happy you're loving the card. It always makes me nervous making these mystery kind of cards here. Okay, and then this guy down here, we're not going to forget about him. And then we can glue this in. So there was a suite called Art Gallery back maybe 3 years ago. That's what that reminds me. Oh, I just did this wrong. That's okay. We'll go like, okay, hang on. Let's flip this over. We'll just glue this one first. Art Gallery. It had some goldish ribbon. It reminded me of this splotchy like painting texture here. All right, is there a top and a bottom? Go like that. Yeah, see, I like this pattern of designer paper on the back better than the other one. Now, these get glued here and here, so we can flip and flip and flip. Thanks, Deb Norman. All right, guys, it's so crazy because, you know, like when we start the card like this, you have no idea what it's gonna look like. But I studied and I did a little homework ahead of time and looked up what the shutterfly was all about so that I wouldn't have all this cutting be bad on me. But I was a little nervous about the cutting, but Connie, you did a great job, cat fur and all here. You did a great job explaining how to do all the cutting. And I'm so happy we went and found the Forever, whatever that set is, the lovely one. Lifetime of Love is perfect. Okay, so let's make sure you're straight because you're not straight there. Okay, and then this one goes here, and we're not done because we need to figure out how to get ribbon on here. So I have this cute little bow that I made with linen thread. I actually thought putting that right at the bottom there. I think that'll be good. So we're gonna pop this up because we can. Thanks, Marilyn. Patty, right, the card is absolutely, thanks, Patty. Thanks, Holly. Yay. And we got to use new things. Love it. So this is gonna go, I'm not gonna, so here's, so just to show you this, how this goes here, and that goes here, and then I was thinking, do I want it in the middle or do I want it up higher? I think I'm gonna put it up just a hair of the equator. That fits right there because then I'm gonna put my bow right there and that will help weigh it down a little. So grab the glue dot, put that off to the side right there. And my little baby bow, I used a bow maker to make my baby bow. These are the little bows that go on your cards for the Wounded Warrior. We had, it's for this one. So we had made all your little baby bows and we had an extra one. And I thought, oh, I'm just gonna put it by my station here in case I ever need a little baby linen thread bow. And it's just perfect. We're gonna fluff up our little bunny ears. Get you be a little bit longer, like that. Oh, yes, I like it. I like it. I love it. We're gonna trim the tail a hair, and then what we can do is put some beautiful gems on because these match really nicely. Not using the ribbon scissors for that. I hate the little plastic flaps, so you guys, I always just go like that. And I can slide them in and out without having to open the flappy flap. Okay, we've got white, which we're not gonna use, and coral and the crumb cake. The cakes of the crumb. So we'll do the coral. I'm just curious here if that looks nice. And then we'll do a small one, just right. I'll go there. Okay. Okay. We didn't Stella anything, so I'd stay away from any stamping, but you can Stella flowers like this, right? In the back too, you could go find some of your flowers. Anything DSP, you could definitely Stella. Okay. Wow. Right, so the reason I cut that flap like that, so I can just go like this, I slide them right back in, and then I don't have to deal with the flap. Okay, so we did it. I think we did it. Do you guys think we did it? Oh, you probably were thinking when we first started off, she's a hot mess with everything, but I felt like we had a plan this whole time and we mastered it. So I'll show you the card all. Okay, so it isn't an A2, right? An A2 card is actually what would fit in this envelope. So it is a hair smaller, and I can see here too, her envelope flap here. So her card is skinnier too, so I was on the right page. Yay. All right, so opens up. We got ribbon, we got gems, we've got lots of stamping, right? And then it's a shutter card, right? So these are your shutters, and then we've got the back pretty too. Yay! Okay, are you guys ready to see Connie's card? Oh my gosh. So, we are, let's open this up and see what she's got. Oh, perfect. She's got Gathering Together, the leaf set. Your friendship means the world to me. And she's got her ribbon going up and down. Okay, so that is definitely what I could have done. If I wanted to leave the sentiment like that, I could have put my gems right on that would have been perfect too to put my gems right on the label, because they show off a little bit better. So that's awesome. Oh, I remember this This is a ribbon from the past. It's so great because it really complements nicely with the old olive. And there, thankful for you. And then many thanks with the leaves on the inside, and then her back. Perfect. She's got her designer paper back there. I love it. Very pretty cards. Awesome. Well, Kelly's going to be here tomorrow. I will have her photograph these cards. I love that I did the linen back there. It's a really extra little touch that you can't really pick it up in the camera. I don't know if you guys can even see it, but that little linen just makes it not so stark. I should have done it on the front one too. Second strength, definitely not first strength. So it just adds a little bit of texture. Okay, I'm going to photograph this now. I'll get it added to the events. And then I will have Kelly photograph my cards and add them to the event as well, so that they're there. Oh, good. So Holly loves the fold. Has anybody done a fold like this now that you can see it in its entirety? Have you done a card like this? It's not, as long as you have wonderful instructions that tell you with a diagram, like that really does help. So hopefully this inspires you guys to make this card. If you do decide to make a card like this and you want to share it with us, I'm pretty certain I created a little sharing post. I'm going to clean up 2 more stamps and I'm going to show you where I created a sharing post, how to share it. Sharing it would be back in Facebook though. So I don't know how to share stuff in YouTube, I guess, like this. So you'd have to move yourself back over to the Facebook, and you would go to Facebook and Cards by Christine. Okay. And then under more events is where you got to go. And so you might at this point need to go to past, right? We're in the past now. So October 29th, we have here a discussion. And in the discussion, oh, I didn't share it. Okay, so I have to share it. I'll get on that. So I must not have done it. There's a cover photographic that says share your creations. So I need to go put that in here. I'll do that when I get back into the house. I'll put in here where you can post, and what you'll do, just like mystery card, where you take a picture of the card and put it in the comments so that it's all in one thread. That would be awesome. Oh, Julie Bierschbach, if you're still watching, I have your bag. I'm putting it down in the box downstairs in the mudroom. I finally remembered to bring it downstairs. So yeah, so if you guys want to share your cards, that would be phenomenal. And then everybody can see what we all used. And there's no rules. If you use stuff that is retired and not current, that's fine. If you use stuff that's not Stampin' Up, that's fine. I get it. You guys, this is your class to use products and stuff that you have at home. It doesn't matter if it's not Stampin' Up or not. I just want you to get using your supplies. And if you do have Stampin' Up stuff, it's just, I'll just have to say it again, they make stuff that coordinates so easily. It was so awesome using all this product that together. It made it making the card so easy. So that's that. I want to remind everybody too that in just a few short days, we have Thursday, Friday, and the benefit is Saturday. So we've got our 6 cards that are here. We have maybe 25 sets of kits left, and I don't know where we're at with the made cards. We were down to 1, and so I have to see once if we need to make more, we can, and if not, then great. But we're down to about 25. So if anybody wants to come in person yet on Saturday, you can. If you want to come pick up card kits, you can. You want to pick up mailed cards, you can. If you want to have them mailed to you, that's perfect too. So just know that anybody who did order made up cards, we just made them last week. So we had planned that they would get mailed in your November packages. So there was no way for us to mail mailed cards prior to last week because they were not done. Okay. So I know I had a couple people asking about that, and I just want you to know that, yep, that's why that happened. So if anybody wants to get that, don't hesitate to reach out. Fill out the registration form. I'm so excited. We had about 30 registrations come in by about 5 o'clock last night, which is awesome. So I'm going to be working with Amanda this afternoon again for a couple hours. And I had said in my video yesterday that my goal was to get responses back to you within 48 hours after you guys register for classes. So I did do my showcase video yesterday in case you missed it. I had a meeting with Stampin' Up! Right at 3:30, and so I never hit the end on the video, and it was so great that Julie Damaris called me yesterday. She's like, I can't watch the video. still says it's live. I'm like, So I was able to end the video, and thankfully it stopped it at 2 hours and 9 minutes, which is how long it really was. But thank you to Julie for helping me out with that, because otherwise no one would be able to see that video. So it was a really good catch. So that's awesome. So you guys can go watch that video. It is a little bit longer. I have lots of stuff to share with you. So if you wanted to watch it in fast motion, that's kind of cool too. So, all right. So I'm just putting my stamps back on here. I don't know much else. I'm going to keep her moving, and it was great putting my stamps back on my sheet. It was great trying to be diligent about cleaning here. So if you guys have any questions, need anything, reach out, get those registrations filled out, and we'll respond to them, and we'll be all set for our shipping day next week. Yay. So awesome sauce. I hope you guys loved it. I had fun doing this. Thank you to Connie Moore for sharing her card with us. We greatly appreciate it. If anybody wants to get a recipe card, you might fill out that form and then just shoot me a message. Say, hey, I filled out the form. I don't check that form all the time because I'd be looking at it every day and it wouldn't change. So if anybody wants to submit their recipe and a sample card, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you get a recipe card. So, all right. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Peaceful Days on Earth, ink, paper, scissors. All right. Love you. Bye.